we be free of fear? What do you guys think? To answer this question, we have to understand what is fear and also the problem of desire. When I want something that I cannot have right now, or I want to be somebody I'm not, my wanting and my not being this person or not having this thing creates my fears. So fear is this feeling that is triggered by perceived threat, danger, or pain. And too often the things we desire the most create our fears that we cannot have them and we cannot be happy. So in this sense, desire actually make us feel heartbroken, also often uh, wreck our lives and wears us out. So I'm gonna give you an example with a client of mine. I'm gonna call her Mary. So Mary started dating this new guy and things were going great. She thought everything was awesome. They were both attracted to each other, and she was convinced that things were going in the right direction. So suddenly, for Mary's surprise, the guy started pulling away. Guess what happened? The more he pulled away, the more Mary started bombarding him with messages and calls. So when we worked together and explored this behavior and why she was doing this, we found out that behind all this was her fear of loneliness. So she was terrified to lose her partner and be on her own. So after working together, Mary started devoting more energy and time on the things that she has rather than the things she doesn't. And she started also addressing these underlying thoughts, underlying beliefs, that uh, if she doesn't have a partner, she's a failure, she will end up all by herself and lonely. And this brings me actually to the first step that what you guys can do to conquer your fears. Look at them, identify them. In positive psychology, psychologists say that the first thing is to become aware, and the healing process starts by just becoming aware of things. So become aware of your fears. Maybe you have fear of death, maybe you have fear of loneliness, fear of darkness, or fear of losing your job, or fear that you're not beautiful, or fear that you may end up lonely, like Mary. So whatever your fear is, look at it. And then the second step is to see what are my beliefs, what are my thoughts around this fear. For example, I'll tell you that behind the fear of loneliness very often is negative, really, or negative thoughts about self-worth and about how other people will perceive me, how others perceive me. So look at these thoughts, look at this self-talk and write them down. Because many times we internalize messages that we heard when we were children. Maybe they served a purpose when we were kids. We had to comply with others. But now, look at all these beliefs and ask yourself, what purpose do they serve me? Do they bring me closer to where I want to be? Or they make me feel like a failure? They bring me anxiety. They make me feel like I'm not good enough. If this is the case, I encourage you to erase all these thoughts. All of them. It's like, pretend you're a computer and you press the delete button and that's it. It's really a choice you have to make. Which brings me to the third step, which is to recognize that you're worthy. There are messages thrown at us all day long. Messages that we are not thin enough, we are not beautiful enough, we are not cool enough, we are not smart enough, we are not educated enough. And let me tell you that this is the job of the media and the news to make us feel this way so we can buy this product. If I don't buy this beautiful shampoo that will make my hair so nice, so I gonna feel less. Or I need this cream so I don't have wrinkles. And again, it comes to our decision. If you guys decide you're worthy enough, you're worthy. It's our decision. Also, often, our minds go to the worst case scenario about the situation or about the future. I encourage you to start uh, imagining, visualizing positive outcomes about the same situation. It is again up to you. You can go on a spiral roll down, and imagine a horrible future for you, changes and uncertainty that life will throw at you cannot handle, or you can visualize positive outcomes. So the next step is to expose to your fear. And this is called exposure therapy, by the way. So what it means is you explore yourself. You explore what you're most afraid of in phases. Let's say you're scared of spiders. The first phase will be you just start looking at spiders, maybe even take pictures of spiders. So the next phase will be maybe touch a spider. And then the last phase will be you hold the spider. And you can do this with every fear you have. Let's say, let's go back to this example with Mary. She has a fear of loneliness. So what I told her to do is to imagine a life without a partner. She's all on her own. So let's play this worst case scenario in her head. So she had to write this down. And I asked her, so then what's gonna happen? How are you gonna spend your time and energy? And she found out that it's not all that scary. So she'll have more time to spend with her friends, to do yoga, to do the things she enjoys, to have lunch and dinners with her friend, and focus more on her career. So another exercise I gave her to stay on her own. When she was most afraid to stay on her own for a weekend, I asked her not to make any plans and be with herself and keep her own company. And it was not that bad because she faced her own fears. She even found a pleasure in this. So do any fear you face, expose to your fear, expose yourself to it. So the next step is really recognize that you can survive. Um, Trust yourself. Trust yourself that no matter what life throws at you, you'll find the resources, you will find the skills, the abilities to go through it. You know, just take a moment and think of all these times you ask yourself if I would be able to do it. And you did it, you're still in the game. How many times you felt that, life is so difficult, it's so hard that you can barely manage, but you are still here, you survived it, and you can do this again in the future. No matter what life throws at you in the future, no matter how difficult it gets, have faith, trust yourself. You are a survivor, you're resilient. So, and these are the steps you guys can do to conquer fear. And by doing this, you become more resilient. You're also gonna know yourself a little better. What are my beliefs? Do I need this belief? Also, how I can face the fear straight in the face. expose yourself to the fear. Also, acknowledge that you're worthy. Make this decision. And the last step, trust yourself. Trust yourself that you can overcome anything that life throws at you, that you're resourceful. You have this ability. Thank you guys for tuning in. So, have a wonderful day. Have wonderful holidays. Happy New Year. Please share this video with all your friends and relatives. More people conquer this horrible feeling of fear. Most likely it's just a perception, and we can change this perception. Stay safe, healthy, and well. Love you all, guys. See you soon. Bye.